Good morning. All things in the building. What's going on, all things? David Howard, good morning, sir. David Williams, what's going on, man? Man, I ain't seen you in a minute, David Williams. Hope you well, bro. Gabe Toss in the middle. What's up, man? Bird 101. Andy Gill, what's good? Denali Smith in the building. What's going on, man? Cadillac 634 in the dough. Gilbert Jimenez, what's going on? AJ64, what's going on? Kenny Moore, Isaiah, YWD, what's happening with you? Man. Took a couple days off, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I feel extremely rejuvenated. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Good week of fights. Rachel Jurgen, what's going on? What's up, Rachel? Vi Ferrer in the building. What up? Cody, tell him what up. What's up, brother? Antonio Shy, what's good, man? Terrell W, Omega Red, what's good, man? How you feeling? Oh, we know why Jaron, dog. We know why Terrence moved up out 154. I'm telling you right now, bro. I'm telling you why Terrence Crawford left 154. Don't want no parts of Jaron, bro. I'm telling it to your faces. Dog, he don't want no parts of that, dog. He don't want no parts of that. That boy that boy can fight, bro. Man, that dude, that's what I've been talking about, dog, with Jaron Ennis. As soon as that dude didn't have that 10-pound rehydration clause on him, he turned into a monster, though. Kent Dawson, what up, Kent? How you feeling, man? What's good with you, sir? Hope life is well. Miss Josette in the building. What's going on? Josh Sanders, 86. T, the winning team, KY. What up, man? Denali Smith said, my main man, Fanon, back at it again. Yeah, man. And we're going to talk about several things. Jaron is the man, bro. I'm not trying to hear shit else. Okay? That dude just went way up. Way up in my pound for pound list, man. Now that he's got his now that he's a unified champion, man, no rehydration. Hey, no, man, that dude wore that boy out, man. What's up, Vel Wagner? Good morning, Fanon. Good morning, Fanon and Boxing family. Good morning to you. No line, I thought it was going to be more competitive, but nope, it was a one-sided whooping, man. I think I said I thought it was going to be somewhere between 8 and 10, or I said 6 and 8. I don't remember. Top 5. Yeah, absolutely. He's top 5 pound for sure. Top 5 pound, in my personal opinion, top 5 pound for sure. Virgil Wembley said, Fanon, you always told everybody how good Boots is. Man, Boots is like that, bro. I'm telling you. Styles make fights, bro. And as soon as he was able to not have that 10-pound rehydration clause on him, he ran through that dude. Did you see him hit that body? Man, he lifted that dude with a body shot. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that the man that's standing on us was inactive, that he had been out for 18 months or something like that. Yeah, Bud's cashing out. He don't want that smoke, bro. Bud don't want no parts of that dude, bro. I'm telling you, man, I hope Virgil Ortiz gonna get killed, bro. I'm telling you, if Jaron Ennis goes to 154, I think the only one, what's going on, Curly J, Salute OG and Boxing family? What up, man? The IBF is killing their champions by doing that rehydration. I mean, it hurts them as long as it's not a unification, but at the same time, bro, everybody else should have it. See, if everybody else had it, then you go up and wait. You know what I mean? But whatever the case is, I'm not faulting the IBF for having a 10-pound rehydration clause. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying that once Jaron didn't have that, you could tell how much stronger he looked in that ring, how much more solid he looked in the ring. It was just very, very clear, bro. And on top of it, man, his skill set is maturing, man. Like, dude, you got to understand, man, I'm a big Jaron fan, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big Jaron Ennis fan, and I've been watching Jaron Ennis. And, like, when Jaron Ennis fought, what's the name of that southpaw from South Africa that Errol Spence knocked out? And it wound up being a no contest for Jaron, because Jaron wind up like bumping him in the head or something, and he basically checked out of the fight. Basically checked out of the fight. And it wound up being it wound up being like a no contest. So whatever his name was, bro, even then I was like, man, he's just too, Chris Van Heerden. Thank you, Troy Hutch. When he fought Chris Van Heerden, I was like, man, he's just he's too anxious. You know what I mean? Like, he's too anxious. I thought he was not too anxious, because who am I to tell him that he's too anxious? He seemed anxious to me, like he really wanted to go out and get him, and he went out to get him from the beginning. Kind of like what he did, and exactly what he did with Karen Kugadajian, or however you pronounce his name. He went after him, and dude just kept moving and moving and moving, and the entire time he was just going after him. This particular fight, you just saw him peppering him with the jab. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah, Boots be ready to kill at all times, bro. But I like how he set it up with the jabs, uppercuts, like nice jab, uppercuts. Man, when he started wearing them to the body, dude, oh my God. I'm telling you, man, Terrence don't want no smoke with him, bro. And I ain't trying to hear it. If this fight with Canelo Alvarez does not go through, if Terrence Crawford does not fight Canelo Alvarez next, I ain't trying to hear it. Okay, I ain't. What up, Robin Soto? Shout out to Puerto Rico, man. Shout out to Puerto Rico, bro. Oh, Boots hired a nutrition. Is that what he is? Whatever it was, man, whatever he hired, whatever he did, it worked. It worked excellently. And your boy Raymond Ford, who's one of the biggest assholes in boxing, personal opinion, Ray Ford is an asshole. Like, I don't give a shit what people say, dude. I get a vibe off Raymond Ford like he's just an asshole. But whatever, he looked good in his fight ahead of that too. Did you hear Eddie Hearn lie on Spence about what? About him coming back to fight Mario Barrios? I heard that he said he may be coming back to fight Mario Barrios, but why in the world would Gervonta, why would Errol go back to 147? Yeah, I did hear that. YHWH debunked. Boots belong at 155, 40, 54. He should go whip Madmer off and show the world that Terrence Crawford ducked him. Why are you trying to amp up some dumb shit, dude? I don't even know who the fuck you are, bro. Like, why are you trying to amp up some dumb shit? The man just got unification at 154. Why can't he stay there and fight Brian Norman? He can fight Brian Norman. He can fight Mario Barrios. He's got 2 more belts to get. And as long as he goes over, and let me see, who you got? Mario Barrios is with the PBC, and you got a top rank. Yeah, I know Errol ain't going back to that. Ray versus Oshaki's going 12. It could be. I'm looking forward to that fight, though, for sure. I rock with Oshaki. I ain't gonna lie. I rock with Oshaki. Shut up, bro. I'm not interested in that shit. Every single time, bro, I try to talk about a fighter really, really doing well, some fucking bozo jumps up and says he needs to drop his belts and move out of the weight. Because it's not his weight class. He is the IBF champion and the WBA champion. Why would you immediately want him to leave a weight class when you have 2 more belts to get? Come on, man. You know what you're doing? You're showing yourself. You're showing yourself. Slow down. Don't be so anxious to try to drag a man's career down by claiming he doesn't belong in the weight class that he's in. What did he weigh in at? What did somebody enlighten me and tell me what Jaron Ennis weighed in at? Now I know he looked like anorexic as hell going into the fight, bro. But if you make the weight, that's your weight class, bro. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Oh, he weighed in at 146, and I'm not trying to hear it. He weighed in at 146. Let that man continue to fight and do what Devin Haney did and chase greatness. I think, as a matter of fact, I think he should stay there at that weight class and wait for Devin, Ryan, and Tio to grow some nuts. Fanon, man, Boots is tough. Man, he made the fight look so masterful. Man, that was a great fight. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, just bring on. We need Brian Norman and we need Mario Barrios. I'm sorry, bro. I'm 100% team Jaron, bro. You're not getting my guy up out of his weight class for no good reason. So you can turn around and say, he never was undisputed. He was never undisputed. I can already hear it. As soon as Jaron goes to 154, what are you going to say? He was never undisputed. He wasn't cheating greatness. He left the weight class and he was undisputed. He was never undisputed. Undercard boxing. What are you talking about? Turning down $2 million for 100K is wild. What you talking about, man? What's up, Branson? Let me see something. Oh, undercard boxing. I see what undercard boxing talking about. Oh, you're not talking to me. Yeah, so please slow down. I know you want to do him like you want to do Gervonta, and immediately say he's too big for that weight class. He doesn't deserve. He shouldn't be in there. He's got to go. He's got to go fight Bivol. He's big and strong enough to fight Bivol. Oh no, he needs to leave that weight class. So Devin can come and get the belts. Man, you better sit your ass right the fuck there, Jaron, and wait for that bum. Wait for that bum. Wait for them little bums to come up, and so you can knock them off. You know, guess who does not want any parts of Jaron Ennis at 147? Let's name the people that want no smoke out of Jaron Ennis at 147. Devin, T.O., Ryan. Devin, T.O., Ryan. Who else is in that whole shit? They don't want no smoke with him. Exactly. Boots is too big. He needs to fight Usyk. He doesn't need to fight Devin or T.O. or Ryan. No. Get out of the weight class. Hell no. Y'all sit up there in that in-between weight class and act like some biatches and don't fight Jaron. I know y'all finna call out Jaron, you freaking nobodies about to get mopped. Bro, you tell me you think Teofimo Lopez at 147 got a snowball's chance in hell against Jaron. If you tell me Devin Haney at any weight got a snowball's chance in hell against that nigga, or Teofimo Lopez got a snowball's chance in hell against that man, let me know. Let's get it on. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Brian Norman too. Dude, I like Brian Norman. Don't get me wrong. Brian Norman's going the fuck to sleep. Okay, I'm telling you. Brian Norman's going to sleep. Ryan's going to sleep. Devin's going to sleep. T.O.'s going to sleep. All four of them dudes going to sleep. All four of them going to sleep. Mario Barrios is going to sleep. They all going to sleep. I ain't trying to hear this shit, bro. Shut up, boy. You better go check somebody else. I don't think I ever called Devin a weight bully. I said he blew up by 25 pounds and he was going to leave the weight class. That's what I said. What's up, man? George Gordon said, the great OG. What up, man? Top of the morning, man. What's good with you, bro? Dragon Assassins official said, didn't Devin and Bill try to discredit Boots when Gilly interviewed them for the Ryan fight? Hell yeah. He's not proved anything yet. He's not proved anything yet. That's what he said. He said Boots ain't proved anything yet. What's up, Ken Dawson? Nah, for real. We need y'all bums to come on up here. Come on now. Come on now. You fighting at 143. You fighting at 142. He said Boots will put them jumper cables on Devin. Oh, you know it, bro. You know it, dog. You know it. Boots got them throwing rocks and hiding their hands. Hell yeah. They want that dude. He really needs to be at 160. Let's chase greatness at 160. So Debbie Pooh can have his belts. Hell no. You need to come get that ass whooping. Come on now. It's time to get that ass whooping, bro. It's time to get that. It's time to get them ass whoopings. You know what I mean? You know the one where Devin don't get up? Hell no. He said he'll beat Devin T.O. with one eye closed and Ryan. Bro, I've been telling you about Jaron, dog. I'm so happy that Jaron got to show out. What's up to my guy Jay Mills? He said, to the best daggone boxing talk, mind, and boxing, my observation, thank you. Team Boots all day. Oh, yeah. America has another unified champion. He said Africa staying at 140 because he know what's waiting for him. They all know what's waiting for him. Hey, Miss Josette, shout out to Canada. So, much love. Ooh, thank you. I like the rose. Miss Josette. It's over, bro. Boxing is done. It's becoming like, dude, just get the fuck out of here, bro. Dude, as soon as I turn off my Twitter, you clowns want to come back. Let me tell you why I turned my Twitter's still going. But the reason I'm not on Twitter anymore, like I'm not going to do my live streams on Twitter, I'm only doing them on this channel, is because of bums like you. You are going to pay the 10 cent to view. You're going to pay the 10 cent I get for you watching this goddamn video. I ain't letting you Negroes fly for free on Twitter no more. So now you got to come say something and I can block your ass right away. Ha ha ha. Gotta love it, baby. Gotta love it. Thank you, Miss Josette. Boots, the boogeyman after that performance is going to be hard for him to get fights, especially the way the people want to protect their records. No, I think he'll be fine with his cards because he got the Stanionis fight. And now all he's got to do is go sign with the PBC and he'll get the Barrios fight. That's all he needs to do. That's all he got to do. All he has to do is be like, thank you, Eddie, for the wonderful opportunity. Now that I'm out of my deal, Al, can I get the Barrios fight? Come on over to Amazon. Come on over to Amazon, Boots. We got a big platform for you, brother. We got a big platform and plenty of fights at 154. If you didn't check it, guess who runs 154? The PBC runs 154. So if he wants to go to 154 and get a bunch of title shots, it makes sense to go ahead and rock. Go ahead and call Leonard Ellerby up. Go ahead and call up Al and get that offer when you're done with Eddie. Undercard Boxing, I didn't know you were from the UK. You said I rate Eddie for what he did with Boots. Yeah, I like Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn has been doing well lately. I can't lie, bro. Eddie Hearn has been doing his thing. He's chilled out, bro, with all that bullshit that he used to be on. I can actually listen to Eddie Hearn talk now because he's not on all that over the top garbage he used to be on. But whatever the case is, no, not 154 is not the best route for him. 147 is the best route for him, man. 147. He got 2 more belts to get at 147. He can get them shits done in a year, bro. Especially if the PBC does deals. If PBC does deals with Amazon, that's a 1-2 punch, bro. That's a 1-2 punch. Hey, man, thank you, Jared. Hey, my guy, Jared Hurt, thank you so much, bro. He said, hit that thumbs up. It's free. It takes 1 second. Please hit that like up. Please hit the thumbs up. I would like some thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. Jay Mills said, Boots just messed up. He made Stan look like a normal rock. Hopefully I'm wrong looking. Whereas Budrick, Waldo wants to know, hey, did Budrick say anything about Terrence Crawford? Did Bud? I said Budrick. Shout out to my guy, Best Fight the Best at Budrick. That's Best Fight the Best. Shout out to Best Fight the Best, my guy. I'm not hating on Devin, but he better really concentrate on Ramirez. I'm just saying, I'm not hating whoever those Haney fans are. Don't worry, I know you're not, man. Ralph Chestnut, you my guy, 100 miles an hour, bro. Boots all day. What do you think about him and Errol? I don't like it. I don't like it for Errol. I don't like it for Errol unless it's at 154 and Errol is all the way back. Now, if Errol is Errol, we'll see. Because actually, Boots' style a little bit fits Errol. Because Jaron is gonna come at you. So it really just depends on what happens what he looks like at 154, but definitely not 147. You know what I mean? Definitely not 147. But if Errol's full strength at 150, hey man, I wouldn't have expected anything less from Errol fighting Stanionis though. You know what I mean? Like say Errol was in his really good shape and everything was clear and he was really ready to go, he would have ran over Stanionis the same way. He'd have beat the brakes off Stanionis. Steve made Spence ain't stupid, especially not now. Yeah. Definitely not next. But on the real, man, Terrence Crawford need to step up if he go to 154. I know Terrence broke camp on that nigga, bro. I don't care. Terrence broke camp on that guy. What's up, Frank? Ain't no way seeing what I saw right there that I don't know that I don't know for sure. Terrence Crawford broke out on that dude. Terrence don't want to fight that guy. Terrence would rather fight Canelo than fight him because of the payday, but also because of the fight. I'm telling you, that dude is tricky as shit too, bro. I mean, he's got looks for days. The more experience that he gets, and I think he's a bigger puncher than Bud. I think he's a bigger puncher than Bud. Bigger puncher than Bud. And he got a little chin. Lil Debbie Pooh is about to get poo pushed out of him. All that dream tick, he about to catch a rude, respectful wake, and he better be serious with this guy, Jose Ramirez, though. Bro, Harambe Jackson. You call me a gorilla, bro? Bye. Fuck Terrence Crawford. How about that? How about I just come out with you want me to hate on Terrence Crawford? Let me tell you what hating on Terrence Crawford sounds like. Fuck Terrence Crawford. See, that's when I'm hating on somebody. I am a gorilla. Oh, look at the sensitive niggas coming on out. Look at the sensitive ones coming out, bro. Oh, look at the poo-poo babies. All mad because we got a black fighter looking like he's the best fighter in boxing. All of a sudden, we got somebody in America that, trust you me, is better than Monster Inoue. He's better than Monster Inoue. Let me tell you, you've never seen Monster Inoue fight like that, bro. You've never seen Monster Inoue look like that. Let me repeat. You've never seen Monster Inoue look like that. You've never seen that many skill, that many wrinkles, that many looks out of Monster Inoue, bro. You tell me Monster Inoue can do what that dude can do, get the fuck out of here, bro. And I mean that shit. I'm so sick of y'all. Tell me how Monster Inoue's better than him. He went up more divisions. Yeah, I'm talking about what you see in that ring. What you see in that ring, bro, Monster Inoue ain't that good, bro. I don't care what you say. Monster Inoue is not that good, bro. Not that good. Big Cabba said Boots was throwing some mean body shots at that dude. I was watching like, dude gonna drop soon. Also, I don't see Devin taking that fight with Boots. It would be too much for him. Salute for not in the chats. For sure, he can't fight him. But he has to fight him at the same time. Because he's got to chase greatness. See, because you got to remember, Big Kappa. Hey, J Mill said, F Bud and Lil Dev. Salute Marno. Yeah, that's how I dish you, bro. If I'm going to diss Terrence Crawford, I'm just going to say, fuck you, Terrence. Do something. What you going to do, slap me? Fuck Terrence Crawford, man. Like, not like in the sense that I don't like him, but I'm not trying to hear that shit. That dude is not fighting this guy right here. I told you as soon as he had a tough fight with, not even a tough fight, because you've never seen Jaron. You've never seen Jaron in a tough fight. When you've seen, just because you saw him go the distance with Karen Kukadaj, and all of a sudden, he's not this, he's not that. But then he beats the tar out of a reigning champion, an undefeated reigning champion. All of a sudden, y'all go quiet. Fuck G-Man. I don't want to talk to G-Man. Block that nigga, dude. You see G-Man King. Oh, the original G-Man King. If you're talking about that little dude, I'm not talking to that bum. Because he was sitting over there on Twitter doing all kind of dumb shit. No. I told y'all the hate was PBC related in any. Oh, no, but look, watch this shit. Jaron is not PBC. Jaron's just not down with them. Boots is playing with boxing right now. Sometimes you got to go the distance just to get the reps. Fanon, I love it now. Boots will get some of the tank hate for being one of the best. Oh, absolutely. Hell, not original G-Man King. Yeah, man, I'm not trying to fuck with that dude, man. That's just a waste of time, bro. I'm tired of that dude. Go away, bro. You really believed in Stanionis. I predicted a knockout between rounds 6 and 8. All of a sudden, so you're ridiculing Stanionis, huh? Is this what we do? This is the usual thing that you guys do? As soon as there's a big game, as soon as there's a big win, all of a sudden you discount his competition. You really believed in Stanionis? No, I didn't believe in Stanionis. No, I didn't believe Stanionis was going to beat Jaron. And I don't believe in Terrence Crawford either. I don't believe Terrence Crawford can beat Jaron. And matter of fact, I think Terrence Crawford gets stopped by Jaron. I'm telling you, man, I don't usually do this. But I'm telling you, bro, if Terrence Crawford fights Jaron Ennis after Canelo, he's getting knocked out. Bro, I'm not interested in you, bro. Goodbye. Create another one. No rookie comments. Who did Stanionis beat? Who did Stanionis beat? Who did Karen Kukadajian beat? Who did Errol beat? Who did Marlon Tabalas beat? Who did fighter number 1 beat? Who did fighter number 2 beat? Rinse and repeat. Who did he beat? Who did he beat? Who did he beat? Will you fucking cornballs please come up with another line other than that stupid ass question? Who did he fight? Who did he fight? So I can do what? Oh, he fought this guy. Oh, that guy's no good. Oh, he fought that guy. That guy's no good. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You niggas are salty. Man, when the black man does good, bro, I swear to God. When the black man is shining, ooh, y'all don't like that, dog. You don't like when they shining, dog. You got a real one, bro. Bro, no. No. Let me tell you right now, bro, what I'm not going to go for. If you randomly ask me about a Turkey Al-Sheikh fighter, I'm going to block you. If you randomly ask me about some bullshit going on in the UK, fuck UK boxing today. My guy won huge. I'm extremely happy because he showed exactly how skilled he was. And now we get to move on, bro, with somebody that's real. With somebody that's real. Not a Devin Haney, not a Tiafimo, not a bunch of yap. But a dude that just went in the ring and demolished that boy. That's what I'm talking about, bro. I'm not interested today in you trying to slip in a conversation about some UK dudes. Okay? You know what I mean? What's up, Muhammad Salam? Anyway, so I'm getting back to this. No, I didn't want to talk about what's next. I want to talk about the fact that I am 100% sure Terrence Crawford ducked up out of that fight. I am telling you 100%, bro, that Terrence Crawford did not want Jaron Ennis, dog. All that talk about Jaron ducking Terrence Crawford was some bullshit. You see what that dude did in the ring, and I want you to tell me one person that Terrence Crawford ever fought that was in that condition. I'm not saying who did Terrence Crawford fight and trying to do away with his reputation or dog his resume. But I'm going to ask you a serious question. What have you ever seen around Terrence Crawford that looked like that? In the lead into the fight, when have you seen somebody look like that? You haven't. You've never seen that. You've never seen somebody that's bigger than Terrence, hits harder than Terrence, is every bit as schooled as Terrence Crawford is, every bit as athletic as Terrence Crawford, but much, much, much more aggressive. Much more aggressive. Much more in your face. Much more right there in your face. And he can box on the outside. And he can box on the outside. And he's got a chin. No, you've never seen. Bud knows that, though. Bud knew that. That's why Sean Porter said, nah, I don't want Boots. Sean Porter said it. Said, nah, I don't want Boots. Nah, you got to let them do that. That's when Sean Porter said Boots is the best athlete that he had seen in the ring since Roy Jones Jr., which does what? It includes Terrence Crawford. Bro, Terrence moved off that guy. Terrence moved away from that guy. And Terrence will never fight him. Watch. Never. Will he ever get in the ring with that dude? Yeah, Porter said that on his. Yeah, he said it on his pet podcast because everybody knows it. Look, man, I've been watching boxing a long time, bro. Every once in a while, dog, you see somebody with some exceptional ass talent that just looks like, like, okay, yeah, that dude can be different, bro. I'm telling you, bro, that dude looks different to me. Jaron looks different to me. Tank looks different to me. Only thing is that Jaron is not up in his top weight class yet. Jaron, right? Terrence, I mean, we say Tank is what is in his third weight class? I think he's in his third weight class. That's why he's chasing Canelo for the payday. Yeah, but I don't know if that fight's going to happen. I don't know if that fight's going to happen. Because I don't know if they got the money to put that fight on in Vegas. I don't know if they got that fight to put in. Tank did not have a questionable draw, bro. Come on, man. That's the third weight class. Count, T-Orlando. T-Orlando. Watch this shit. 1, 2, 3, 1. Jaron is at 147. That's his first weight class. Right? 154 would be his second. 160 would be his third. Gervonta's first weight class was 126. Second one was 130. Third one was 135. Obviously, ain't nobody at 126 playing with Gervonta Davis, bro. Wasn't no 126 pounders other than maybe Gary Russell Jr. going to do anything with Tank at 126. When he went to 130, wasn't nobody doing nothing with him at 130. And then when he got to 135, he starts fighting guys that are bigger than him. So then he's fighting guys that are longer than him, right? Longer than him, taller than him. But anyway, like I said, Gervonta Davis is already a proven fighter. You say what you want. Gervonta Davis already proved it on the big stage. He's already doing it. Jaron Ennis is the guy that needs to get the attention now. Along with Tank for sure. But Jaron Ennis needs a lot of attention, bro, for the good of American boxing, dog. Because we've got a special fighter, man. And I would hate it if we allowed the same bullshit-ass Devin Haney fuckboys, same bullshit Turkey a la Sheik taint lickers, the Turkey a la Sheik taint lickers, to sit up there and try to pile on Jaron. Oh, who's he fighting? What's he doing? What's he doing? That was at 135. Curly J, that was at 130. Curly J fought Leo Santa Cruz at 130. But it was for the belts. It was for the 130 belt and the 135 belts. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm throwing you out for stupid shit. I'm telling you right now, bro, if you say some stupid shit, I'm going to throw you out. Gervonta Davis is ducking Shakur Stevenson like the plague. Will you go the fuck away? Like, for real, man, will you take your childish asses on and get the fuck? Stop talking to me. I've had enough energy. I'm talking about. Hold up, man. Stop. Man, seriously, man, I'm not trying to hear that shit, bro. Pull Out Bandit said, I've been BSR on platform saying Junior deserves to defend his title. be a headliner in Georgia, etc. Sounds like they're going to duck weight Boots out. Oh, I've seen Brian Norman Sr. on platform saying Junior deserves to defend his title, be a headliner in Georgia, etc. Sounds like they're going to duck weight Boots out. Let me tell you what I think is going to happen with Pull Out Bandit. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think that, first of all, Brian Norman does need some more fights. I really think Brian Norman needs a couple more fights as champion because he kind of got there quick. I do think he deserves that. I agree with Brian Norman Sr. on that. Now, Brian Norman Jr. looked terrific in the fight that he had in his last fight. He looked terrific. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm high on Brian Norman Jr. He looked real good. But what I think is going to happen is that they're with Top Rank. So it really makes sense. Boots just did a fight with PBC. If Boots gets another fight with the PBC, right? If he's not with Eddie anymore and he gets another fight with the PBC, he can get Mario Barrios with the PBC. Then if Top Rank and the PBC do business together, then he could get the Brian Norman fight. You know what I mean? Because the PBC is going to continue to give you fights even if you lose. Turkey Al-Sheikh is going to feed you to the fucking wolves. Period. Phenomenal show. What up, man? He said, don't forget he fought Barrios at 140. Nope. No, I didn't forget. Phenomenal Noop. I didn't forget. I didn't do 140 because I was trying to say that you had that Jaron is in his first and the fight against Lamont Roach was in his third. But yeah, he beat Mario Barrios in his fourth. So in the fourth, so I will go along with what you're saying, and I'll take that in consideration. So if you look at where the fourth weight class for Jaron would be 168, 147, 154, 160, 168. And when he gets to 168, then that's when you're going to see Jaron in a situation where he's going to be smaller than people. Because then you have to have Jaron beat like David Benavidez, right? So if Jaron fights David Benavidez, then Jaron's going to be shorter, and David Benavidez is going to have the size and the length advantages. Not saying that Jaron can't go to 168 and be able to beat somebody like David Benavidez. Somebody like David Benavidez. I want to keep David Benavidez's name out of it because I don't want some of you guys that always want these people to go and jump. Oh, he did a really good job. Throw him out of an airplane. Like, for real. They'll be like, yo, he really did a great job jumping off the porch. Oh, well, put him in an airplane. Dump him out of that and see if he can land. That's the type of logic these dudes be using on these guys, man. But I would not have a problem. I will not have a problem if Brian Norman Jr. gets another fight before he goes to Boots. God dog, man. Like, for real, God dog. Man, that dude looks so prime, man. He looks sharp. He looks terrific. Watch this shit. I'm about to bash this clown. Stay busy. Go away. You're banned. Stay busy. Go away. Oh, who cares? Kokui, come on, bro. They work for people, bro. They're just employees. Don't ever get mad at I'm never going to get mad at employees again. I'm not going to get mad at employees anymore. They got to do what their bosses tell them to do. And their bosses tell them to say stupid shit all the time. So they got to say the stupid shit that their bosses tell them to say. I listen to them. I know they know better. I know they know better. But you got to find a way to pay for that studio. You know what I'm saying? Studios don't come cheap, right? You know studios don't come cheap, right? Somebody's paying for that shit. Andy Gill Sr., he said he didn't do that on Mill City. I don't know what that is. B-Easy, what up, B-Easy? How you feeling, man? Denali Smith said Jaron should fight Barrios next. Has the experience. He's been on the big stages. Jaron Jew is going to kill him in that ring. No, for real, though, I want to see that fight next. I do. I want to see that big money. I hope it's a big money fight with Mario Barrios. Phenomenal show in the building. Said, I keep telling people that Karen would give any fighter problems because he runs more than he fights. That was never an indictment on Boots. That's the truth. And Boots never lost a Boots. What did Boots move around? He just tried not to get killed. And you see what happened as soon as Stanionis fought him. Why he didn't want to fight like that. What's going on, Barbara D? Thomas Hill said, Curly J, Tank going to get that KO next time. Respect to Roach because he's a fantastic fighter with a sturdy chin. But Tank... Dragon Assassin said, have you noticed a pattern? Attach yourself to a name and then go another direction. In Norman's case, Japan. Yeah, I've noticed that. I've definitely noticed that, man. Thank you, Phenomenal Noob. Yeah, man, I've definitely noticed that pattern. For sure. Yeah, absolutely, CoQ. I agree with that. CoQ, or is that Coqui? Coqui? Let me know when you can hear me. Let me know when you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. All right, cool. So I'll keep going. Really, I was just about to get back on Jaron and how much better I feel now, man. Like, for real, man. Seriously, man, Cass was like every fighter that I really like, these clowns always go at him, bro. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I started getting big on Jaron Ennis, Cass tried trying to frame him for ducks, trying to, you know what I mean? Just try to create this whole narrative of him being a duck and of being this terrible person, bro. Like, I was the first person that was really talking about Jaron. I'm for real. I know y'all may not think this is true because now a whole lot of people are going to be on Jaron. Dog, I was like I swear I was the first person that I knew of that was really KQQ said, Fanon, if you end up supporting Haney, the Haneys will turn. No, they did anyway. They didn't anyway. I supported, I used to support Devin Haney. The problem is Bill's a dick. Like, I supported Devin Haney. I used to do Devin Haney videos. I was like man, let me tell you about this shit with Devin Haney, bro. No joke, bro. I would do videos about Devin, and I was doing the videos to talk about Devin, right? Devin was not some big name dude, some super big name dude. I was doing videos about him and Tank and him and this person, and I was doing it so that his name, so his name would appear in videos. And his name would appear in videos and people would talk about him. So I had never even met that asshole Bill. I had never met the dude. Bill jumps on Black Fight Fan TVs and then starts telling me, tell Fanon to stop hating on Devin. Stop hating on Devin. I was like, fuck boy, I ain't never said nothing bad about your son. What are you talking about? So anyway, the problem with Bill is you have to do what Bill tells you. You have to do what Bill Haney tells you to do. Like Bill Haney tells you to do it. And I'm not doing shit Bill Haney tells me to do how Bill Haney tells me to do it. Y'all can be shook by Bill. I'm not shook by Bill. Fuck Bill. Like, you know what I'm talking about? You got to do what he wants, how he wants, when you want it done. Bro, are you out your fucking mind? You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck on, bro. But anyway, I liked Devin. The problem is Bill. So no, I used to promote Bill. I used to promote Devin without anybody asking me. So just so you know, Other people were getting paid to promote Devin. I was not getting paid to promote Devin. The people who were promoting Devin got paid for promoting Devin, right? They got paid. Did I get paid? No. Did I want to get paid? No. Did they want to get paid? Yes. Did I want to get paid? No. Not from selling my opinion. I don't want to get paid. And not to some dude like that, bro. I will never get run by a pimp, bro. If I'm talking to a pimp, I'm really just trying to find the woman you work for, bro. That's it. I'm telling you. If I'm talking to a pimp for 5 minutes, I'm just trying to figure out the name of the woman that he works for. Bill don't run shit, bro. What's up, Victor? The backlash Devin will receive if he loses will be crazy, bro. Fanon, you didn't accept the $2,500 challenge. What do you mean? This $2,500 challenge? This $2,500 challenge? You talking about that, Hunter Young? You talking about this? You talking about the $2,500 challenge that somebody said they would bet if you could show 25 consecutive punches, but yet he never paid me my money? Don't worry, I know, Blue Blood, you owe me $2,500, bro. You owe me $2,500, dog. That's your. You said you would take $2,500, nigga. Give me my $2,500, because my guy Phoenix circled this shit. So yeah, he owes me. No, he never won. No, I don't think he ever paid me my $2,500, bro. For the 25 unanswered punches. Fanon, I don't want to talk about Bill no more. I'm done with that. I'm back to Jaron. Thanks, bro, but I'm back to Jaron, bro. I'm back to Jaron. I'm not gonna do too much of them. True Curly J, but that's not me. Oh, we'll be dropping 200 videos this week to hype up the Devin. Hold on, hold on, let me see something. Oh, it's coming up closer. Oh, he said, Fanon, he doesn't owe you anything because everything is subject to change. Bro, where's my $2,500? I need my $2,500, dog, for real. You owe me $2,500, Blue Blood. You owe me $2,500. You made the bet, bro. I put it up, dog. You watched the show. You never paid. You welched on that bet, bro. You welched on that bet. You welched on that bet, bro. I was in the chat and I said, okay. I typed, okay. You said you had $2,500 for anybody that could show 25 consecutive punches. I did it and I never got my money. Blue Blood, I never got my money. But what should you expect, bro? What should you expect? Other than somebody not paying their debts, because everything's subject to change. Anyway, that was the 25. I showed 26, in fact. Because Devin doesn't sell tickets, bro. Devin, you can't really drive views with Devin. Devin doesn't drive views. Tank, I'm going to tell you who drives views. Tank drives views. Errol drives views. Terrence drives views. A little bit. But really, the two people that really drive views is Errol and Tank. Unless you're on like a Latino channel or something. But I'm not, I'm black. I'm not Latino. Hakeem Idris, what's up, man? My man Charles Thomas aptly dubbed him 5'2" blue. He is about that tall. About 5. I'd give him like 5'8", something like that. Anyway, who knows? Who cares? Mexican Monster. Oh yeah. Mexican Monster too. Nah, for me, Mexican Monster doesn't really move a lot of views for me. But I do David Benavidez because I really like David Benavidez. Q Breeze said Spence trying to come back this summer. I don't know. I'm gonna wait until I doubt very much he's coming back against Mario Barrios, unless Mario Barrios is gonna drop his belt, his 147-pound belt. If Mario Barrios is dropping his 147-pound belt, then yeah, I believe that he will. All right, we're at 50 minutes. I'll put the invites up because I'm sure some of you clowns are gonna try to click a link and yell at me and all that dumb shit because a black man did well. Fanon, Ben and Eubank in a couple weeks. Who you got? Man, please let Chris Eubank win. I got Chris Eubank, and I want Chris Eubank to win. The boxing world better be prepared for what, because Tank's bringing can't be stopped. Man, I'm telling you, Tank is a nice fighter, bro. Martin, what happened to your boxing scene form? Past streams. What do you mean? Be easy. I don't know what you mean. Boots was not a PBC fighter, even though he should be. Be Easy said, what happened to your boxing scene form from past streams? I don't know what you mean. Be Easy. Can you retype that? I would love to answer the question, but I have to be honest with you. I don't know what you're talking about. Ben looks small. Yeah, he does. He looks too small for a bit. He's juiced, so you never know. But he's got to get that money, bro, from your box office. What happened to your box office? Oh, I moved my house. I moved. Be easy. I moved. Yeah, I have a different office now. Yeah, I moved. I'm gonna hang a couple pictures like right here. I got a couple pictures to hang, but I've been a little bit slow on it. They need to check Eubank's gloves. It might be loaded with eggs. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Let me check this PayPal. Thank you for everybody that supports, bro. For real. And please always remember, PayPal works great. It really does. I'm not PayPal. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. I just got to check this Cash App. And thank you guys for the support. Really does make a big difference. It's important to the channel. Thank you. Oh, somebody's going to come. Let me see. Oh, it's my guy, Kamal. Hope that's Kamal. Kamal, is that you? Because your thing's not orange, and I don't want somebody jumping up acting like they were you. All right, cool. Got you, brother. All right. Big Kamal, what up, man?
What up, Fanon? How you doing?
Chill. Okay, there's your K. I didn't have your K up, so I was like, ooh, I ain't gonna let nobody mess you over. What's good, brother?
Hey, what's good, man? I was surprised you didn't get on Saturday. Once again, you didn't call the fight.
Well, I was with my wife. My wife took me to Houston, so we were like, you know
family
what I mean?
comes first. Yeah, family comes. Say no more. Say no more. Say no more. Family's always first. So yeah, I don't know. I heard some haters in the chat. I don't know if these are Brian Norman Jr. plants or Brian Norman Sr. plants rather. But Jaron Ennis is the guy. From what I understand, unless something was done behind closed doors, Boots had signed a 3-fight deal with Matchroom. Eddie Hearn, other than getting this fight done, which really wasn't Eddie Hearn, it was Jaron Ennis, from what I understood, and PBC and Tom Brown got this fight done. Really didn't do anything for Ennis. Turkey's now talking about BS fights against Teofimo Lopez. That does nothing for Ennis. And I don't even believe that Teofimo Sr. or Jr., I think they're just clout chasers. That kind of fight does nothing for Boots. He needs to focus on if he can still make the weight, because the weight cut and then fight. Yeah, he looked rough.
It looked drastic. I ain't gonna lie.
So to me, he can't make the same mistake that Errol did, because to me, and I sent you that Mill City interview, I was hearing Brian Norman Sr. talk. Guy's delusional. I think that the Normans are setting themselves up to be another Terrence Crawford and have Boots be the role of Errol. And I just don't trust that guy, because from what I've heard from people that I know, and I have a lot less sources than you do, that Boots took care of Brian Norman Jr. in sparring. And so that's why there's some reticence to get that fight done. And in that Mill City interview, Brian Norman Sr.'s talking about fighting Jin Sasaki in Japan and making money. And I'm just like, what is this dude even talking about? He's talking about meeting up in Philly and being strapped. And I'm just like, what is he talking about? Just clown stuff that he's talking about. So in my opinion, if this was Boots' last fight with Eddie Hearn, the move for him is to go back to Amazon Prime, because you remember when everybody was falsely labeling Boots a duck because Turkey tried to set him up to go to fight Virgil Ortiz at 154, which was never the plan, because Boots and Bozy have always been honest. They always said that their goal was to unify the division. And then there's this excuse me, this Virgil Ortiz fight came out of nowhere. No one was really asking for it. And it was something that Turkey was proposing. Because, this guy likes to pose wild and crazy fights like Canelo and Crawford, and then the Ben Eubank winner versus Canelo and Crawford winner. And then stuff like Hamza Shiraz versus Canelo. Nobody asked for these fights. And so Boots was being set up. And if you recall in the media, Eddie Hearn wasn't speaking up for Boots. Turkey was trashing him, and the only person that spoke up for Boots at that time, saying Boots is not a duck, Boots is a throwback fighter, who was it, Fanon? It was, besides people on YouTube, I'm not even talking about that, I'm talking about people in the industry, was Steven Espinoza. Steven Espinoza, I don't know if you remember that, Fanon. Tell me if you remember that, was the only person that was standing up for Boots and said, no, Boots is not a duck.
Yeah, he was, 100%. Are you talking about with that Terrence Crawford stuff?
No. Well, beyond the Terrence Crawford, I'm talking about the Virgil Ortiz. That Virgil Ortiz.
I didn't really hear a lot of that. All I knew was that Virgil Ortiz is at 154, so I didn't get why they were saying he was ducking him. Because didn't he leave the weight class because of that strong bitis or whatever that shit was?
Yeah, well, Virgil Ortiz, people won't say it, but he was being a weight bully. Because he had several canceled fights with Stanionis himself because he was being unhealthy and cutting too much weight. So Virgil Ortiz should have been at 160. He should have been a middleweight years ago, really. But he was just going down to 147 and hurting his body. But Turkey had tried to set up Boots versus Virgil Ortiz. And it wasn't something that Boots wanted, because Boots and Bozy had always said that their goal was to unify the division or to be undisputed at the division. And then when the fight didn't happen, they tried to blame Boots and they tried to lie on his name. And Turkey was leading the charge because, Turkey owns a lot of corporate media, or a lot of the corporate media is aligned to him. And Eddie Hearn wasn't saying anything. So Boots was looking bad in these streets. And the only one who was speaking up for Boots was not Eddie Hearn, it was Steven Espinoza. So in addition to the Terrence Crawford situation and the lie that was being propagated by Crawford's team that somehow Boots ducked Terrence Crawford, there was a lie going around that Boots ducked Virgil Ortiz. So that's what I'm talking about.
That shit makes no sense based off Virgil Ortiz's fight history.
But it's because it's because of these Turkey wild ideas for cards, Fanon, like fighting in Alcatraz, fighting in Times Square without, no weight classes, fighting in Times Square with no crowd. He had this crazy idea, basically, and I thought it was a setup, Fanon. He had a crazy idea to make Boots go up to 154. And his first fight, so Virgil Ortiz could acclimatize to 154, but his first fight would have been Virgil Ortiz. And then when Virgil was like, no, I mean, he and Bozy were, when Boots, and Bozy were like, no, our goal is to be undisputed at 147. Then he got called a duck. He got called a hater. You know what they do to a lot of black fighters, especially. You don't hear as much with Canelo and other Bum Lufkin when they duck. But when black fighters duck, they want to label them quickly ducks. So when it came to Boots, you admittedly didn't pay much attention. But the only one that was standing up for him in the aftermath of that whole Virgil Ortiz Boots failed negotiation that was completely an initiative of Turkey al-Sheikh was Steven Espinoza. So in my mind, the biggest platform we have left in boxing now, because we know that ESPN has ended its association with Top Rank, is Prime. So mission is accomplished. I heard so many people, again, Fanon, lambasting the PBC, lambasting Al Heyman, say they were going to play keep away from Boots in terms of these fights. But who's the only one who unified with Boots, Fanon? A PBC fighter. A PBC fighter.
And a PBC fighter, 18 months inactive.
Exactly.
So they ain't even like they could have found something else for him.
Exactly. And a PBC fighter, unlike Barrios, because Barrios has had, like him or hate him, I hear a lot of hate for Barrios. Again, probably because of his PBC association. He has a hell of a resume. Thurman and Gervonta Tank Davis, he's got money fights. Stanionis didn't have any of those money fights. And so they let Stanionis go over there and fight, like you said, a free champion. And it was a lot of the further proof was that the narrative that the PBC fighters were playing keep away from Boots, even though he was under the Showtime umbrella, but he wasn't officially a PBC fighter, it was false. Because what did I tell you months ago, Fanon? I said the reason that these fights with Stanionis and Barrios haven't taken place yet is because Terrence Crawford is holding up the division and retarding the progress of the division. And even though he's officially moved up to 154, he hasn't relinquished his belts.
I remember that.
I 100% said that. So people are like, oh, no, they're ducking. PBC's playing keep away. I said, no, they're not. I said, because these are not unifications. So if the full champion in Jaron Boots Ennis at the IBF, because Daryl Peoples is the only one who's really serious and objective in all of these things in boxing, is fighting Stanionis, who's not a primary champion, or fighting Barrios, who's not been elevated, then it wouldn't be a unification. So PBC makes no sense for them to make the fight at the time. Same thing now with Crawford retarding the division at 154. And has the WBA, to my knowledge, have they stripped him, Fanon?
I'll look. I don't think so, though.
I don't think so. And you know what? They're under the thumb of Turkey. Supposedly, Turkey has some agreement with the WBA like he does with BoxRec. And so when Benavidez fought Morrell, that was supposed to be a double unification mandatory. So Benavidez was supposed to be promoted to WBA's champion as well as WBC champion. But he wasn't by the WBA because Turkey has influence there. So anybody hating on Boots, and I'm hearing all this crazy talk about how Boots got hit too much. Well, Stanionis was a guy that nobody really wanted to fight, Fanon. He was a guy who had...
Let me tell you something about how he got hit, too. That goddamn lunging, excuse my language, that lunging jab of Stanionis's caused him problems because he adjusted to it. But you remember, like, because Stanionis is not just jabs. Stanionis he almost slides forward with his jab.
Yes.
Yeah, so you think that you're out of range for his jab, but he slides in with his jab. That and those hooks when Jaron was in there, that's what Jaron was getting hit with.
Yes.
But man, that jab of Stanionis was weird, and it took him a little while to adjust to it. But once he got it, them uppercuts started working.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, thank you for adding that.
What'd you say?
I said thank you for adding that. My bad.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. Mad Manny with the $5 holler in the cash app, bro. Thank you so much, man. And since I don't have my phone, I have to I'm gonna put him up on the screen. Hold on one second. Bro, fuck you, bro. I'm not letting you on here with no monkey, bro. Fuck out of here, nigga.
Who, some fake racist?
Somebody back there because he's gonna say, yeah, germ. He called me a germ monkey.
Nah, that's a closet racist trying to get.
It's a dramatic monkey is what he's trying to. That ain't nobody but one of them clowns.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring 2 cents up there. Go ahead. No, I'm listening to you. Go ahead, man. I just didn't want to sit back there too much longer.
Yeah, I want to come up here and cook with Kamal.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. I'll be here for a second. How much time you got, Kamal?
I got plenty of time. Go ahead, 2 cents. I'll be listening.
I'll be back. I'm listening to you guys. He said you guys wanted to cook, so I'll go off camera and let you guys go for a couple minutes.
Yeah, let's cook. 2 cents. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to come on here real quick because I am now a self-proclaimed anti-captivist, and I'm gonna call out the hypocrisy. I think it's weird that it's not a bunch of people, and I'm not saying I want this or that I agree with it, but I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy. How come nobody calling Stanionis a quitter? How come he's not getting all this scrutiny and criticism? How come now after Boots, first of all, Kamal, like you came up here and said, they tried to paint him as a duck, and I had Boots back. I immediately made a video saying that this duck campaign, that y'all calling him a duck, is clearly a smear campaign. It's clearly not authentic, and it's clearly not genuine, because it's too many people coming out at one time screaming duck when we don't even have all the information. It was a lot of misinformation. There was a lot of, it was supposed to be it this way. and all of this stuff. And it was obvious that he was continuing to stick to what he said his goals were. And I don't understand why he got so much scrutiny for that. Now I'm not understanding why. Before I did a live before the fight, and I said after the fight, people will move the goalposts. Y'all were saying this was Boots' biggest test. Y'all was saying Boots was gonna lose. I told y'all he was gonna wash him. It was gonna look like a Romaine Villa type fight. Everybody said Stanley is way better than Villa after the fight. Oh, he was coming off a year layoff. And that was my whole point. He was coming off a year layoff. And I think the issue is a lot of times people just don't be honest because they don't like fighters or whatever the case may be. You can have your opinions about fighters, but be honest. Boots put on a great performance. And the odds for the betting was just completely disrespectful. I won a lot of money on that fight because I don't understand why y'all thought Boots wouldn't stop somebody coming off of a year layoff. Like, I don't understand that. And so now I'm just wondering, like, so Boots is still getting all the criticism. There's no criticism for standing on this. Nobody's saying he's a quitter. Nobody was saying he quit on the stool. Nobody is saying that, oh, he wasn't thought what we thought he was and all this other rhetoric that you hear going around. Nobody's saying that. The criticism is focused on Boots, and he went in there and put on a very dominant performance. But all we can focus on is because he got hit. It's a boxing match. Do Boots have some things he can work on defensively? Of course he does. But what I don't want to happen is y'all continue to ridicule this man until he does what y'all want him to do. And you just won't give him the credit of what he's doing right now, which is him doing exactly what he said he wanted to do. Errol Spence fighting and coming back at 147 pounds to fight Mario Barrios. I don't understand how y'all run with. Now, could it happen? Anything could happen in boxing. But I don't understand how y'all run with these crazy, ridiculous narratives and ridicule and criticize fighters up until the point you find out it's not true. And then you just move on to the next narrative. Errol Spence has said he's either going to 54 or 60. Why are we putting Errol Spence back at 47 saying he's about to come back and fight Mario Barrios? Like, are y'all coming out and making these videos to try to make Spence say something because he's so quiet? Like, are those the type of psychological games we playing? Because I don't understand. And then people are really running with this. Oh, I thought he was weight trained. I thought he couldn't make the weight. Just using this false information to throw more criticisms at a fighter that ain't even been active. And he completely minded his business. So that was just my 2 cents about what I wanted to say about what's going on. Y'all stop letting people play with y'all intelligence. And
you broke up 2 cent. Broke 2 cent?
Yeah, I'm here.
Back up about 15 seconds, and because I couldn't hear any of it. You broke up.
I think I was just saying, like, don't let people play with your intelligence and people say things and then y'all start running around with this foolishness that makes absolutely no logical sense. Now, it's boxing, so of course anything can happen. But to think that Errol Spence will go back to 47 when he's literally told y'all I'm coming back at 54 or 60. So I don't understand why people want to make up stuff just to criticize fighters. That's basically what they're doing. And at first I used to think these people was just tripping, but now I'm really thinking they playing like some type of psychological warfare type games because it's too intentional.
Bro, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you bro. I'm going to tell you for sure what it is. It's basically trying to annoy Tank fans or annoy Errol Spence Jr. fans and force them to watch you. Because it's always going to juxtapose somebody against that person. So that's the game. The game is, oh, I have to do a video about this guy, but nobody will watch it. So how do I do that? Oh, I make up some bullshit about Errol so I can slap it in the title. And now it's some bullshit, but you see Errol in the algorithm, which means everybody that watches Errol Spence videos is going to have it come across them. So what happens is with Devin, it was attacking Tank. With Anthony Joshua within the United States, it was attacking Deontay Wilder. It's whoever's name is actually driving the algorithm. They have to put that name in there. Otherwise, it's not going to get fed to their subscribers the next time. So what you wind up seeing is you see guys that are really, truly, they know exactly what they're doing. The lies that they tell are very consistent. They're very consistent in their lies. So no, they know exactly what they're doing. And it's failed in large part because they had to eventually bail out and get everybody to pay for them to, just pay for everything for them. But that's what they do. It's because they can't, if you just do You just do a Devin Haney video with just Devin Haney's name in there. That shit ain't going nowhere.
And I mean, it's cool for people to have their opinions. I don't have an issue with that. But when you just, but I mean, I guess the trainer did say that. I don't know why he would say that. It's just weird to me. I don't know. It's just strange. It's just strange.
It's an association to pick up on what 2 Cents was saying. And this is where I'll diverge only slightly with what 2 Cents heard, because I heard Coach Midget on one of those live streams trashing Stanionis and saying, "Well, what did Stanionis do?" Trying to discount what Boots did, and they were saying, "Oh, PBC is going to play." He was saying PBC is going to play keep away with Barrios from Boots, and I said, "Well, PBC who's affiliated with Stanionis?" So if PBC was going to play keep away from Boots, why wouldn't they have made Barrios versus Stanionis so they get a unified champion instead of allowing Stanionis to go over there and fight Boots? So these narratives that they kept pushing, that they've been wrong about PBC and Al Heyman from the very beginning, have been proven to be false. And then when they're false, they pivot to something else. So Coach Midget was on that live yesterday that I was listening to, that live stream, just spouting nothing.
Is that him?
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. He's one of those Al Heyman haters, the Al Heyman haters. And so everything he was saying was false. And so he's pivoting like, "Oh, Barrios, he's with PBC. They're going to play keep away." And I'm like, well, who the hell did Boots just fight? Tom Brown was very present at all of the pre-fight buildup with Stanionis. Y'all said that PBC would keep Stanionis away. Y'all said that Stanionis was ducking, when in reality, as soon as Stanionis was elevated to full champion, he said, "Give me the boot smoke. I want the fight." Period. And I said the corner would throw in the towel for my prediction was 7th round KO. Came a little early because right before the 7th round TKO. But you know what?
No. It stopped after the 6th, right?
Yeah, didn't it? Right after the 6th.
Yeah. You win because the 6th round ended.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I won. Yeah, so TKO.
On my channel, you got it right. Because he didn't come out for the 7th. He completed the 6th. He didn't come out for the 7th. In my book, you're right.
Okay, so I got that one right. I make a lot of wrong predictions, but the hate for these guys.
That one. You were dead on with that one. Do you remember what I said? I thought I said somewhere around
9th. Yeah, 8th or 9th is what you said. 8th or 9th.
Okay, yeah. All right, cool.
I remember clearly. But the hate for these guys.
Y'all would have won some big money if y'all bet on them rounds.
What were the odds on that? What were the odds?
It was like, the app, I have to use Bovada because I'm in Texas, but I'm sure on other apps they had better odds. But it was
You gamble 2 Cent?
I mean,
a little something.
I guess I bet. I bet. I'm not a gambler, but I like to bet on the fight sometimes just for fun.
Hey, hold on one second.
Make them a little bit more exciting to watch.
What's up, Fahim? Been missing you, brother. I missed you the last couple streams, bro. I thought I did something to you. Good to see you, brother. Go ahead, 2 Cent. I'm sorry. I just want to say.
I mean, it was like plus 1,800, plus 1,400, plus 1,500, like for the stoppage in those rounds. They did not think that Boots was going to stop Stanionis. And I don't understand what these people are looking at with Boots. Like, do y'all realize that Boots didn't lose a round in 29 fights? So it don't matter if he fighting tomato cans, trash cans, garbanzo bean cans. If you're not losing a round, that says a lot about your talent. You get what I'm saying? And so I don't know why they hate on Boots. He's not even with the PBC. So what's the issue now?
Well, to piggyback on, I didn't mean to cut you off. They associate him with PBC because he was assigned with Showtime. Same way they hate on Derek James.
I'll be back in about 5 if that's cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So I didn't mean to cut you off, but why do they hate on him? Because even though they know he was not PBC 2 Cents, he was associated because he had that network contract with Showtime. And so Errol moved out of the division. And then when it was time for Crawford to finally fight somebody after the Errol fight, they were like, well, Errol ducked Boots, and they absolved Crawford of his mandatory responsibilities. So by extension, even though he was not an Al Heyman and PBC fighter, because he was associated with Showtime and Steven Espinoza, they hate on him. Same way they hate on Derek James for being Errol Spence's trainer, because there's a lot of hate for Derek James. So even though these people, and remember, hate is irrational. It's an emotion that's irrational. So people become associated with that hate because of these people's proclivities and these angers. And so even though Boots was never officially a PBC fighter, because he was quote unquote on that side of the street, they come up with ways to diss him. They were sympathetic to Turkey's smear campaign against him and the bogus narrative that he was somehow ducking Virgil Ortiz. So that's the reason, because of his association with quote unquote that side of the street. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. We're having a little back and forth. It's good. It's great talking to you, Kamal. And now they're just gonna, even after the fight, oh, Boots need to move up. They're gonna criticize him till he move up. He gonna go beat the other champions. They gonna say who he beat. Like it's gonna continue to go until he goes to 54. And he's never gonna be what he said he was until he lose, and then he gonna be a hype job. I'm just telling y'all now. I just want to put the narratives out there so y'all can get ahead of them. So when they come out, you won't be emotionally upset or any type of pay any type of attention to them. Because I told people Friday night what was gonna happen after the fight. But I think Boots is an excellent fighter. And I definitely see him going undisputed at 47. And I can't wait for him to get to 54. I think that's gonna be good. What do you think will be next for Boots? Do you see the other champions in the division trying to wait him out until they feel like he can't make the weight? Or do you think that they will take those fights? And this is another thing I heard that I think fighters should stop doing, is that Boots took less money to make the fight, right? And I get it. You want the fight. You want to be a champion. But it's like this trend of these fighters starting to be taken advantage of, because these quote-unquote B-side fighters got these belts, and they want to try to sell the belt and negotiate to where now the A-side fighter is taking less money and getting a deficit all to get a belt that you're only going to be criticized for getting anyway. Everybody going to say you ain't fought nobody and all that other stuff. Like, I think it's a very thin line with that. What do you think?
Well, I agree to a degree, but it just goes to show you, 2 cents, that when two fighters want to make a fight, they make a fight. So I listen to Brian Norman Sr. yap and complain on Mill City just being all kind of delusional. And in the grand scheme of things, he and his son ducked Boots Ennis. And so Stanionis and Tom Brown at PBC and Boots Ennis' side wanted to make the fight, and so they made the fight happen. Two fighters wanted to make the fight. Stanionis stepped up to the plate. And so it's clear that after the failed negotiations with the setup, that I call it, for Boots and Virgil Ortiz, Turkey, because who we know, Turkey, he holds grudges. We know based on his interactions with Tim Tszyu and with David Benavidez, the guy's going to cut people off. And so we know that Turkey stopped working with Boots after the failed Virgil Ortiz negotiations. So Eddie Hearn was basically, from what I know, going out of his pocket. He wasn't getting any Riyadh season fights for Boots, because Turkey basically wrote him off after that Ortiz fight, and he initiated the smear and pressure campaign to get Boots to fight Virgil Ortiz, likely for peanuts, which again was a setup and was against everything that he and Bozy said. So if I had to guess, unless Boots signed an extension with Matchroom, I thought I saw that he had initially signed a 3-fight deal with Matchroom, and that has been fulfilled because he fought David Avocado. For the first fight was with Matchroom. Second fight was a Karen rematch, which was the mandatory, and this would have been the third fight with Matchroom. So unless he signed an extension with Eddie Hearn, he's going to go back to the biggest brand, the biggest platform for boxing, which is Prime. And he had a previous managerial relationship with Steven Espinoza. I don't think Espinoza was necessarily charging him money. I think it was just more, helping him out once Espinoza left Showtime. I think that's his best move, and I don't see any reason why the PBC wouldn't make the Barrios fight. Now, as far as Brian Norman Jr., I
Wait,
think
hold on,
that.
before you switch gears,
Go
let me
ahead.
say this real quick as far as Boots. Because I was talking about this on my live stream, right? And there were some people that were saying, well, Boots should stay with Eddie. Eddie has done more for Boots than anybody else has. He's
False.
unified. He's this, he's that. And so he and his star power is starting to show now that he's with Eddie. And these were the rebuttals I was getting, and I was like, if my star power is starting to show, I'm definitely leaving Eddie, because what stars has Eddie built? Does Eddie know how to market an American fighter? One, and does he know how to market a Black American fighter? Two, does he know the markets to put him in? Does he know where to put the fights? I heard him talking about what Tank did. Oh, Tank fought in Atlanta, and Tank fought here, and Tank fought here. Maybe we should put Boots in those markets. Is kind of what he was saying. But does he really know? Is he going to be able to get Boots fights? Is he going to be able to get Boots paid? That is the question to me. What you think about that?
And I agree. Eddie Hearn has not, like I said, he's done nothing for Boots. Boots went because Turkey stopped working with him, to my knowledge, from what I understand. Boots went himself and he got the Stanionis fight done because because Giasov had to pay step aside money. Giasov was a WBA mandatory, so that had to be taken care of. Boots and Stanionis, and this is why Stanionis I think got more money, is because he had to get that mandatory that was ordered by the WBA taken care of. And Giasov is a matchroom fighter. So that had to come in the form of compensation. So I think that's what played a part in why Stanionis was paid a little bit more. So because if Stanionis is going to do the unification, he's got to get some money to get that Giasov mandatory out of the way. So Eddie Hearn, again, he was quiet when Boots was being set up to fight Virgil Ortiz and in that failed negotiations. Eddie Hearn had Boots. His stock was low. People were trashing him, calling him a ducker of Virgil Ortiz. And the only person that was speaking up for him was Steven Espinoza, who at the time had no fiduciary or any contractual relationship with Boots. Eddie Hearn has done nothing for Boots. David Avocado was a throwaway fight. The Karen, no one wanted to see the Karen rematch. He got that. And then Boots and his team and Bozy, they got the Stanionis fight. The only move to me, unless I'm not on the inside, I don't have the reports and the sources that Fanon or KO Boxing or Ego or any of these other guys have. The only solution is if this was the end of his 3-fight deal with Matchroom, is for Boots to go over to Prime, because Barrios is over there. I don't think Brian Norman Jr. and Brian Norman Sr. are serious about making that fight. Salute to them. So they'll just be, fighting Top Rank and fighting on female boxing undercards, and fighting nondescript opponents. And I think that Barrios would fight him. And then, if the weight cut becomes too much, don't do it, Errol Spence. Don't sell your soul, or not sell your soul. Sorry, sell your farm. Give up the farm to make a fight with somebody who really doesn't want the fight, and give away all of the hardworking leverage. Move up to 154. Where's most of the action at 154? Where are the big fights? It's with the PBC. It's with Amazon Prime. So to me,
God dang, he got Jermel.
Yeah. You got Jermel, you got Erickson Lubin, you got Fundora, you got Tim Zhu and Thurman are about to fight. Who wouldn't pay big money for Thurman versus Boots?
Ooh, I would. Yeah. Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you for letting me come up, Fanon. I got to get back to work. Good talking to you, Kamal. We should do this more often.
For sure. I'm going to show up.
Anytime y'all want to. I'm good. All right, y'all.
All right. Peace out.
All right. All right, so yeah, so to me, unless Boots has done all this on his own, Fanon, because Boots was the only one who was other than Steven Espinoza, who was really standing up for his honor when they were slandering him, going on a smear campaign against him for the failed Virgil Ortiz negotiations, and Turkey was really unleashing his corporate media machine against Boots. So Boots has really done all the heavy lifting. Eddie Hearn has really done nothing for him. So to me, unless there was an extension signed, or unless he didn't initially sign a 3-fight deal, the move for Boots is to go over there to the PBC, go over there, get that Barrios fight. Like I said, I'm not convinced the Brian Norman Jr. fight will happen. And then go up to 154, because you got so many big money fights, so many fights, and he may not win all of them, and that's fine to me. It's the fact we want the best to fight the best, and he will make a lot of money with, like we said, we got Lubin over there, who you got Brian, who's the guy, Brian Vera, who's a tough fight, who knocked out Fundora. You got Tim Zhu, Thurman.
I about Brian Vera.
Yeah, Brian Vera. Everybody. You got there's so much heat over at 154 on the PBC side of things, that and big money fights to make, that those are there. I mean, Eddie Hearn didn't even give him Conor Benn. That would have been a good fight. Why did Eddie Hearn give Boots Conor Benn? So people are saying that Boots should stay with Eddie Hearn. Why did Eddie Hearn make a Eubank Benn, where they're in two separate weight classes, fight instead of a Boots Conor Benn fight? And then he was trying to get Barrios to fight Benn. Did you notice that, Fanon? You remember when he was trying to do that?
Look, man, they're not trying to get their guys beat by Jaron. Seriously, they're not trying to get Conor Benn beat by Jaron Ennis.
They want Boots to re-sign with Eddie Hearn. When Eddie Hearn played keep away with Conor Benn, it wouldn't let, even though Conor Benn I think was ranked number 1 or number 2 in the IBF rankings, Boots didn't get that fight, and he was making offers to Barrios behind Boots's back to try to get Benn versus Barrios. So why would Boots re-sign? Tell me how much how much Eddie Hearn has done for Boots, when he knew that his fighter was trying to unify the division and become undisputed. And then, he had been sneakily making offers to Barrios. He even released a message, a video in Spanish to try to compel Barrios to fight Benn. No, that's not the right move. Unless there's something I don't know. I think the only move for Boots is to go back to PBC. And I think the next fight, the IBF mandatory is not due for some time. I think the next fight, unless the WBA orders the immediate Giasov fight, pay Giasov step aside money, and then get that Barrios fight done. I think that's what makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, man, I think it makes sense, because if Jaron goes to the PBC, he can get the Mario Barrios fight. And then Brian Norman is with Top Rank, and Top Rank and PBC already said they were in talks on several cards together. So the fact that Brian Norman is with Top Rank makes it easier to get the fight for Jaron if he's with the PBC than it would be if he's with Matchroom. So the way that Top Rank is leaving ESPN, it's supposed to leave, we'll see if it actually happens, but the way that they're supposed to leave ESPN, that works for Jaron. Because if Jaron's with the PBC and Top Rank is trying to do fights over on Amazon Prime, dude, Bob Arum is not, that's not Lomachenko. Brian Norman ain't Lomachenko, so he ain't in love with him like that. So I wouldn't doubt at all if Top Rank said, we about to try to do this Boots fight.
Well, I hope they do, but I don't know if you watched that Mill City Live that I emailed you yesterday, but after
I didn't, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, I want you to watch it. I think I'm seeing a lot of smoke and mirrors from Brian Norman Sr., and I don't know if that fight happens. I just don't think it will happen. I mean, he's openly talking about, I remember when people had floated the idea of Boots fighting Jin Sasaki, everyone had a big problem, but Brian Norman Sr. is talking about going to Japan and fighting Jin Sasaki and how great that would be. I don't know if the Normas would take that fight, but if they can get the fight done, then go ahead and get it. But I just don't. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you. I just say,
because what I've heard from Brian Norman Sr. and stuff like that, the talking, I don't think he really wants that fight for his son, and I just don't think he's realistic with the money. And so, you're right. Theoretically, it would be easier with basically ESPN has said they've told Top Rank, your deal's done, we're not renewing it, and if you find another network, you can leave early. So they really don't want Top Rank over there, Fanon. And of course, corporate media is not reporting that. But when PBC didn't renew with Fox, that was front page news. But corporate media is not telling you that ESPN kicked Top Rank to the curb and said, if y'all want to leave early, I know we had a network exclusive deal, y'all can leave early. We don't want you. So,
exactly.
So
and Turkey gonna be on the same time with Dana. If I can get out of this shit early, I'm gonna get out this shit early.
Exactly. Because the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, that guy's a smart guy. I mean, the way I don't think he's the firstborn. He's not the firstborn son of the king who's ailing right now. So he angled to become the Crown Prince and the successor from a very early. He's a very astute, very smart guy. And he's doing a lot of good stuff with Saudi Arabia. And he's not going to continue to lose tens and millions of dollars on boxing. So when people said, idiots on YouTube were saying that Turkey had $1 trillion for to throw into boxing, they don't even know what $1 trillion is. They just couldn't be further from the truth. Because this guy MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, he's been planning for a life post oil. and the natural gas and the fossil fuel industry community for Saudi Arabia, and he's building 100% renewable and green cities in Saudi Arabia, and that costs money to transition that economy from oil, even though they're awash with funds. So he's, from what I understand, from what I've read, he's not. He's tightening those purse strings, tightening up his belt when it comes to Turkey and spending money outside the kingdom. Because the whole point of Riyadh season, whether it be with the WWE, whether it be their association with the PGA Tour and golf, or whether it be with boxing, was to drive tourism that is not for non-religious, tourism that because they get most of their tourism, all of their tourism has been religious stuff, to go to Saudi Arabia. And so spending exorbitant sums and losing all this money on Crawford and Eminem appearances in LA cards to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman was looking, and I was like, no, this is not, how is this helping the kingdom? Because it's not in Saudi Arabia. So from what I understand, to further up your point, is that a lot of the purse strings have been tightened, and then Turkey doesn't have as much discretion to splurge as he did before. Thus, we're seeing people like Shakur Stevenson, who are kind of at the peripheral tail of things, complaining about their pay. It's because that the Crown Princess said, no, we're going to be more strategic with how we spend this money. We don't have an unlimited fund that I'm going to give you, because this whole thing with Riyadh season was to promote Saudi Arabia as a business center, as a travel center. And then you're even seeing it with Fanon, not to venture too much off sports, but you're seeing it in politics, because Saudi Arabia is hosting these meetings between Russia and Ukraine when it comes to the peace agreements, and America and Ukraine with these peace agreements with Marco Rubio, our Secretary of State, and then the Russian guy, Sergei Lavrov. So Saudi Arabia is really trying to become more internationalized, trying to do a Dubai light, if you will. And so this splurging on this Riyadh season, from what I understand, the Crown Prince, who I said, very intelligent guy, he told Turkey, from what I understand, we're not gonna spend on stuff that doesn't promote the kingdom. And so that's why the money is becoming a lot less. And also they're paying Canelo, from what I understand, an exorbitant amount of money to fight, 4 fights that are just not what people really want to see.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kamal. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you breaking down the Saudi Arabian politics for me, because I'm a little bit left on that. But I appreciate you, Kamal. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, and I also sent you, before I hang up, because I know you've got to go on, other people want on, I sent you Paulie Malinagi's breakdown of Boots, and Paulie was great. I know that we have our own, opinions about Paulie. He said some racially insensitive things, but his post-fight, watch that post-fight video I sent you from Paulie breaking down Boots, and he said he was impressed, because the narrative now that Boots beat Stanionis was some bum. He was a flat-footed fighter, which couldn't be further from the truth. Stanionis has a very exciting style, a very good jab, that Boots had to deal with, and that he and Bozy, who Bozy slept on as a trainer. Bozy's a very good trainer. He works with Andy Cruz. So when people are saying Abdullah Mesa's going to dog walk Andy Cruz, I think you guys are jumping. You guys are jumping the horse, because Andy Cruz is very talented, and he's with Bozy, and Bozy's one, along with Bob Santos, along with Virgil Hunter in Oakland, along with Roddy Shields, along with Stacey McKinley, along with Mike, with those guys. One of the most cerebral. Stephen Breadman Edwards is another one who I heard that Errol may go with Stephen Breadman Edwards. Bozy's one of the top trainers in the game right now, and so he works with Andy Cruz. So break down, if you want, you can watch those videos. I said Paulie was 100% on point. They're gonna hate on Boots, like I said, because they associate him with their hatred of the PBC and Showtime, but the guy is the next one, and he Tank and Benavidez can be the 3 feathers in the cap for Prime and boxing, if they're all into boxing. Like, I have no reason to doubt they wouldn't be, based on what you told me about Jeff Bezos. Those can be the 3 money men, and Boots is a star. And the haters are gonna hate, but Boots is winning. And with that, I'm out. Thank you, Fanon.
All right, brother, get back, man. Great cook, Kamal. That was a great cook, Kamal. Thank you, Kamal, and thank you to 2 Cent. I really enjoyed that conversation a lot. Thomas Hill. Let me go back to what Thomas Hill just said. Oh, Jeep Red Boy, brother. Thank you so much, Jeep Red Boy. Thank you so much, man. Let me check this just real quick. No Cap GTD. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Fadon?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Shit, still alive in this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. What's on your mind?
Y'all was talking some good shit about Boots, but I think he can't mess with Crawford though. I think people underestimate Crawford's craftiness, his overall boxing IQ. Boots
no, I rated. I have him as my number one pound for pound fighter. I don't underrate it at all. I got him. I have Terrence Crawford as what?
No, go ahead.
You said I don't like Terrence?
No, I didn't say. I was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I mean, I think Terrence Crawford's an incredible fighter. I just don't think he's as good as Boots. I just don't think he is. I think he's too small, and I don't think that he's going to be really able to fight somebody like that at that age. Terrence Crawford is pushing. He's pushing 40. Jaron Ennis is still a little bit away from equally. Jaron is about to turn 30 in a couple years, and Terrence is about to turn 40. So what I'm telling you is that dude is action, and the way he presses that fight and keeps that fight going, bro. That's tough because Terrence Crawford, aside from the weightlifting and all that, is not as big as that guy.
I felt that same way to that second Kieran fight. Kieran, he way better. That Boots is just too young and too strong for Crawford. But after the Kieran is styles big fights,
Mm-hmm.
And to beat Boots, a good counter puncher like Terrence Crawford is the kryptonite for this type of fighter Boots is.
You've not seen somebody counter punching Boots like that. Kieran Kugadjian was not running counters
out of him, man.
Huh?
He was countering. He was getting to him in the
machine. How many rounds do you think? How many rounds do you think Kieran Kugadjian won out of the 24 rounds they fought?
I think about 4.
Maybe 4. Because he didn't win nothing the first fight. I doubt he won 4 in the second.
But
I think he may have won 3 rounds. If you give him 4, cool. I'll say he probably won 3 rounds out of 24. That's not a good.
Kieran Kugadjian is over-exaggerated but they said Boots is exposed and stuff like that.
No, I'm just saying Kieran Kugadjian lost every round of the first fight, and he might have won 2 or 3 rounds of the second fight. The only thing is that fight didn't turn into a knockout. But other than that, Boots dominated that guy.
He gave Boots a good fight that second fight.
Yeah, he won 3 rounds. I'll go check the scorecards. Let me go check the scorecards because I'm pretty sure he won like 3 rounds.
But it was competitive.
I don't think that shit was competitive at all, bro.
It was competitive. He had some good shots.
We'll see if the scorecards say competitive.
But the scorecards don't really tell the whole story.
No, it don't. But it tells you what the score is.
Yeah,
Kieran Kugadjian. Hold on, man. Yeah. Kieran Kugadjian. The fight he had with Kieran Kugadjian. The score from the 3 scorecards: 116, 110, 117, 109, 119, 107. He won. He's the red one, right? No, he's the blue one. So he won round 4. Round 8, and 2 gave him round 11, and 1 gave him 12. So the most he won on anybody's scorecard was 4 rounds out of 12. I think what you're seeing is that people had high expectations of him beating up and dominating Jaron like the way he did other people, but you didn't see that with Kieran Kugadjian. But that's just my take on it. But thanks, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
All right, now get back. Somebody just hit the link. If the link is back up, you can come hit that link again. I was going to let you on. Yeah, I just think there's a big, and I don't have a problem with that no cap GTD. I just think that people sometimes people think fights that they expect to be blowouts wind up don't look the way you think it would look, because Kieran Kugadjian was avoiding a lot of punches and he was moving around a lot and he wasn't allowing Jaron Ennis just to do whatever Jaron Ennis wanted to do. But at the same time, you got to win more than 4 out of 24 rounds in order for me to really be like, yeah, he tested him. Because the first, and I know why he won more rounds in the second fight, because Kieran Kugadjian stood there. And when Kieran Kugadjian stood there and fought, he got dropped and he got back on his bike. If he would have stayed there and continued to fight like that, he probably would have got knocked out. But Karen Kukadjian wanted to survive. Boots and Bud is irrelevant because Bud will not fight him. Bud saw the landscape in 154 and told Turkey he only wanted Canelo or to retire. Like with Bivol, Boots performs best with good competition. Very fair, very fair, very fair, very fair, Kamal. Thank you for that support, Kamal. Big time. So, yeah, that's what I think is going on with Boots. You just have a situation where, with a lot of people, you think that somebody did better than you expected them to do means that the other guy did worse than you expected him to do. Since Jaron did worse than you expected him to do, even though he dominated the fight, you feel, and reasonably so, it's a logical thing, you feel a little bit of a letdown, right? Like, I watched the Karen Kukadjian fight, and I was like, oh, this isn't going the way I wanted it to go, but I wasn't confused as to who was winning the fight, So I just think that happens often, where we set expectations for fighters, and if that fighter doesn't, like if Gervonta Davis doesn't knock somebody out, he loses a round. I think that you see that. That's what I think. That's my rationale for the things that are said. Makes sense to me, You knew what I mean? So Crawford, Cardina says, so Crawford beating Spence makes him pound for pound king. I had him before. Bivol's my pound for pound until he gets dethroned. Beats Canelo, then fights Benavidez back-to-back. That's impressive. Beats Canelo, then fights Beterbiev back-to-back. He lost to Beterbiev, though. He lost one of those fights to Beterbiev. He didn't beat Beterbiev back-to-back. He lost one. But I didn't see the second fight, so I really can't comment on the second fight. LeVar Aiken said, Martin, I love Crawford, but if Boots Ennis goes to 154, Crawford going to 160. For sure. Absolutely, he will. He's not going to fight the guy. I'm only bringing it up not because I think that Terrence Crawford is going to do it. I know that I think Terrence Crawford is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, but I don't think he beats that guy. Bivol, the best purest boxer in boxing? Oh, hell no. Bivol, the best pure boxer in boxing? No way. Shakur is a better pure boxer than him. Bivol, the best pure boxer in boxing? No. Shakur is a better boxer than him. My personal opinion, Sunchild, I put Shakur Stevenson as a pure boxer. I put Shakur Stevenson ahead of Dimitri Bivol. The only thing is that he hasn't had a fight with a Canelo. He hasn't had a fight with a Beterbiev to be able to prove it. But at least that's what I see as far as pure boxers. I don't think that there's anybody else that I think is like Erislandy Lara is too old. If Erislandy Lara wasn't that old, I would say Erislandy Lara is a better pure boxer than Bivol is. Who else? He's a great pure boxer, though. I mean, a guy that isn't going to bring about a knockout. He doesn't rely upon a knockout. He's a great one. Is Lomachenko a pure boxer? I'll say Lara. Yeah, Cardina said I'll say Lara. I mean, Lara's nice with it, bro. Lara's real nice with it. Even as old as Lara's nice with it. Who else is a really good pure boxer? I'm waiting to see Andy Cruz, man. I'm waiting to see Andy Cruz. Like, I can't speak on Andy Cruz now, but whoever said that they thought that Abdullah Mason is going to beat Andy Cruz right now, I would hold up on that fight. No joke. If it was me, I would definitely hold up on that fight. if I was Abdullah Mason, I would keep him away from Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz is so tricky. He's so tricky. So tricky. He is 135. Cardenas. Andy Cruz is 135. Andy Cruz is 135. I love to see Shakur open up more offensively. I really know. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I would love to see Shakur open up more offensively to really know if he's the best pure boxer. I think that's fair too. That's a fair assessment. I think that's a very fair statement, Marquis. I think that's Oh, you're saying they're going to take over. They're going to take over. Oh, no doubt. Thomas says, hey, Martin, can the Cardenas get a consideration for? Yeah, you can get it right now. Not consideration. You said give him one. I got Cardenas. Yeah, for sure. Cardenas, I'll get Cardenas right now. Let me wait till this shit roll all the way down, and then I'll get Cardenas. Cardenas, you welcome to the squad, man. Welcome to the squad. Welcome to the squad. Boom, boom. Yeah, I don't think that Keyshawn Davis, I don't think that he's ready for him yet, to tell you the truth. I don't think that he's ready for him yet. My man, Fahim Satora said, Abdullah Mason is not ready for no Cuban fighter. No, he's not ready for him, man. I agree 100% with that. I don't think he's ready for that. I don't think he's ready for it. You know what I mean? But I don't really think Abdullah's probably going to get his first title in 140. I have a suspicion he's going to get his first title in 140. Abdullah Mason's going to be kind of interesting too, man. Like what goes on with him if Top Rank leaves. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Mason would put Andy Cruz to sleep. Nah, I don't think so, bro. Maybe in a year or two he'll put Andy Cruz to sleep, but I don't think so. Unless, somebody did sleep. Somebody beat Robeisy Ramirez because Robeisy Ramirez decided he was going to be Mr. Aggressive. But, it could happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not down on it. I'm not downing Abdullah Mason at all. I'm really not. I'm not downing him. I just think he's kind of young, and Andy Cruz is just older. He's more mature. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do it. Kind of like my son. I was arguing with my son. Very refined debater. For a 19-year-old, he's very, very for a 19-year-old, he's a very, very good debater. He really can't out-debate me if we really needed to do it, but at the same time, I can see that once he gets older, then, if he focuses on it, he's going to be very difficult to beat in an argument. But at the same time, I'm a grown man, and I kind of know what's going on. So it'll be tough for him to beat me. But people his own age, people around him, he'll get them every time. Elbow was harsh in the Cruz fight with Espinoza. Yeah. Y'all Abdullah Mason fans do realize Top Rank is matching him very carefully for a reason, right? Absolutely. He said, got some of your characteristics. Yeah, I would say my son has a lot of my characteristics, but at the same time, he's much more like his mother, more calm. He'll freak out though. Like he'll fly off the handle on you. But for the most part, no, he's more calm, much more even keeled than me. But still very, very intelligent, very well structured mind. Guy has a good attention span, good work ethic, all the above, man. I'm proud of my son. I think he's doing very, very, very well for himself at this stage of his life. You know what I mean? He got more money in stocks than I do. So, you know what I mean? I can't talk too bad about it. He's been watching his money since a little kid, man. Since a little kid, bro. But I agree 100% with you, Kamal. I don't think he's ever going to do that. I'm kind of trying to go Terrence Crawford because I don't think this Canelo fight's going to go. Unless they go, I just don't get it. He say, you got that man strength over the chip off your own block, Martin. Yeah, I got a little man strength advantage on him, but I'm going to tell you, I'm not wrestling him anymore. He's 19. He's 19, and he pushed me the other day. We got kind of like a little play around scrum, and you just kind of feel their strength a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a little bit stronger than him still, but I still don't want to get caught by nothing. Nah, that's my little dude, man. That's my little dude. I love him. I'm so proud of my son. Thomas Hill, that little ninja, started fighting 8-rounders with over 15 fights. He's being moved slowly for a reason. Yeah, well, yeah, they are. But I don't know, are the championship belts really available for him? Maybe they're just trying to develop them, really, truly, truly trying to develop them all the way. But anyway, what's up, Kamal? Kamal been holding me down, bro. Yes, may I get a 10 count for former LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacey? We have to give you a moment of silence because I don't have my gong. I got to get a new bell. I'll buy a bell for the 10 count, specifically for the 10 count. But just so you didn't know, LSU's former LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacey, I think they said they suspect suicide, which would be really, really, really sad. But Rest in peace. Rest in peace. What's up, Isaiah Birdsong? What's good, bro? Corleone, what's going on? Corleone the comic said, Fanon, what up, bro? I'm chilling, brother. What up, man? Just doing the thing, having a good day, bro. Having a good day, man. But yes, Kamal, you definitely got that 10. I can give you the moment of silence until I get a new gong. Do I think Abdullah has a chin? He got dropped 1, 2 times, 1 or 2 fights ago. I don't know, man. You can get dropped and you can figure maybe he just got caught. Maybe just got caught. We'll see as time goes on, man. We'll see as times goes on. I think Abdullah Mason, obviously he's making a name for himself. And he's obviously a very talented fighter coming from that big family of fighters. I don't want to judge too much off of a knockdown. I think he got up and knocked the guy out, right? But yeah, obviously he's got to have to, lesson learned, man. He's got to watch his P's and Q's a little bit better, man. You know what I mean? But I do want to address this Errol Spence rumor that he's going to be fighting Mario Barrios in this summer, that he's going to be fighting Mario Barrios. I don't think that I've heard a more ridiculous rumor that goes against everything Errol Spence said he was going to do. It goes against all common sense that he would fight Mario Barrios at 147 pounds. Now, if he fought Mario Barrios at a catch weight, or if he fought him at 154 and Mario Barrios was allowed to keep the belt if he won or if he lost, then okay, I could see. Then I could see it. You know what I mean? If the fight is a non-title fight for Mario Barrios. The Cardina said, good look for now for the moderated status, man. Hey, no, that's my pleasure, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you coming every day. Appreciate you, I appreciate it. And Melvin Paulson Jr. said, yeah, dominate. He did dominate after. Yeah, so I'm not really tripping too much on that. You get clipped or you get clipped, you get dropped. Isn't that happened to Ali? My favorite fighter of all time is Muhammad Ali, bro. Hey, Coley the comic said, I met Sugar Ray this weekend and took a pic with him. He's cool. Oh, that's what's up, man. Shout out to the great Sugar Ray Leonard, man. Shout out to the great Sugar Ray Leonard. Yeah, it just didn't make any sense, man. Just doesn't make any sense that he would do it unless it's a non-title fight. If it's a non-title fight, then okay, I can buy it. Thomas Hill said, yeah, that makes zero sense, but I'll believe it when I see it with regards to Spence being back, getting back in the ring. Yeah, I just want to see him get. Honestly, man, with Jaron Ennis, I feel better about Errol. I can't lie, bro. With Jaron Ennis, I feel better about Errol. Because, man, Errol is such a terrific fighter that just so many unfortunate things happened to that really kind of limited me getting my full enjoyment of Errol Spence over the last several years. So to see Jaron get that second title, bro, I want to see him. I really do want to see Jaron Ennis get undisputed and run through that weight class as fast as he can. But then go back up to 150, go to 154 pounds and fight that organ, because that's where all the competition is. And I think he'd be a step above Terrence if he did it, because he'd get undisputed in his first weight class. He's unified in his first weight class. When Terrence Crawford was became unified in his second weight class. So, I just got a lot of hope for Jaron, man. I'm really happy for Philadelphia. You guys have to know I'm a little bit biased in favor of Philadelphia because my family's from Philadelphia. But, still, Philadelphia needed a great fighter, man. It's been huge $20 holler, bro, from my guy Vlad. Let me do a screen caption of you, man, so I can show you this. Give me 1 second. I got to put this up because I don't have. Yeah, no worries. I'll just do this. Much love for the $20 holla from my guy Vidal. Appreciate you for Chi-Town salute. Thanks for the content, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, bro. Big $20 holla. That's huge. Isaiah Safford, how can I help you, man?
What's going on, Fanon? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. Can't complain, man. How are you?
Hey, that's good to hear, man. Glad to see you well. I just want to talk about the. I just want to hold on. It says Isaiah Safford. Oh wow, yeah. It's because
it changed, bro.
I'm on the phone.
What do you want me to change it to?
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
No, give me the change. I'll change it, and if I change it on this end, it will always come up right.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you could just put what I had, Isaiah YD. I don't want people looking.
Oh, okay. No worries. Isaiah
WYD. I don't want people looking up my last name and stuff.
Oh, hold on. I put WYS. But go ahead, brother. I'm listening to you. I'm changing the name while you do it.
Thank you, Fanon. I just want to talk about the Boots fight, man. You know what? It's crazy how a lot of people were counting Boots out, and yeah, I get it. Stanionis, it's been a long layoff, but he's still that guy. He's good. I'm just glad that Boots was able to get what he wanted. He got the stoppage. Now he looks better than ever now. So I do believe that if PBC wants to give him Barrios, I think that was his last fight with Matchroom. I believe if he goes and tries to get that Barrios fight, the PBC, I believe that they're not just gonna say, okay, yeah, come and fight Barrios. We'll do it on a Matchroom card. I believe that they'll probably try to get him to sign with the PBC and keep those belts. I mean, it just doesn't make sense for them to give him Barrios while he's with Matchroom, yet alone let Brian Norman fight. Let Brian Norman Jr. fight Barrios. I think he still has to fight that guy Jin Sasaki. He called him out, which was that was a crazy call out. I don't know if you remember that. It was a wild call out. He had a paper with him, and it was like, I don't know. It was just a crazy call out. But I'm glad Boots did what he had to do. For the dude that jumped on here and said that he thinks Bud beats Boots, I don't know. Bud is old, like you said. If Bud was 27 years old and maybe, yeah. But I mean, we don't even know. If he doesn't get that Nello fight, he's gonna retire. There's no way he's gonna fight Boots at 54. Like Kamal said, if Boots moves up to 54, Bud is gonna fight someone at 60, or if not, he's gonna retire. But I just wanted to jump on here and congratulate Ennis, and really just I can't wait to see what's next for him. I hope he gets to get the other 2 belts. We'll see what happens, but that's all I had to say for now. Thank you so much for letting me jump on here, brother.
Anytime, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. You the last caller, Isaiah. But I got you set up the next time you come on.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Fanon.
All right, brother.
Get back. Rest of your day. God bless.
God bless. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, look, y'all, I'm about to head up out of here. Have a wonderful day. Thank y'all for chopping it up with me. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. It really makes a difference. LeVar Akins Martin, I'm about to fly to San Antonio today for vacation. First time in Texas. Airport, now coming from Philadelphia. Where should I go? Any Mexican restaurant in San Antonio. But you want to go to the Alamo, bro. You want to go to the Alamo. Alamo's like downtown San Antonio. The Alamo is like the tourist spot in San Antonio. But, it's Texas. So if you're looking for something to eat, man, any Mexican spot's going to be good. Get the fajitas. Get the fajitas. Which are everywhere else a fajita is like some big thing. In Texas, it's just a fajita. Definitely go to the Alamo, man. That's where a lot of people go in San Antonio. That's whenever I go, that's where we wind up staying, is downtown near the Alamo. And there's a lot of tourists and stuff. A lot of tourists there that are in that area, man. So, but thanks y'all, man, so much for chopping it up with me today. We'll be back tomorrow. Shout out to Barbara D. I don't think I got to say what's up to Barbara D today. I know I saw her a couple times. Hey, thank you, Bernard Davis. Said, good work, brother. Stay blessed. Thank you, brother. Life is good, bro. Hey, what's up, Abdul Shahid, Rauf Wahid? I went to the fight. Boots just put boxing on notice. 147 and 54. Now we see why Crawford ducked. Yeah, he don't want to. I don't think he wanted no parts with that, bro. I really don't think he wanted any parts with that. Brian, thank you, brother. Peace to you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We will be back tomorrow. Please keep a lookout for the videos that I'm going to drop later today, man. If you wouldn't mind watching the videos that are on the channel, drop a link, drop a like or leave a comment over there. It would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.